Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to a Metal Gear Solid 5 news update. Recently, Kojima Productions streamed another episode of Kojima Station, in which they addressed some audience feedback, revealing some small bits of new information about the Phantom Pain along the way. One topic of discussion was how cutscenes are being handled. It's no secret by now that Kojima plans to reduce the number of cutscenes, which has raised concerns for many fans about the story. James Amaro, a level designer at Kojima Productions, addressed these concerns. He stated with confidence that it's not about prioritizing one element over another, but rather about balancing the proportion between gameplay and cutscenes. The cutscenes will still be there, but they'll be more finely scattered around rather than appearing in huge chunks. That way, players can have a more seamless experience between gameplay portions and story portions, rather than having to go back and forth between large gameplay portions and long cutscenes. And for those worried that these cutscenes will lose their epicness due to their new directions, Jordan Amaro promises that their new approach will not affect the spectacle and craftsmanship that is a staple of the Metal Gear franchise. Jordan also revealed that whether certain cutscenes are triggered will depend on how players play the game. The conversation then shifted to Kiefer Sutherland. In a recent interview with Eurogamer, Jordan Amaro stated that Snake won't talk as much as he did in past games, and when asked why, he stated jokingly that if Kiefer talks too much, they would have to pay him a lot more. Jordan was joking, of course, but the people of the internet took the comment rather seriously. James Amaro and the hosts both took the time to clarify that the statement was nothing more than a joke, and then proceeded to explain the real reasons in regards to why Snake won't be talking as much. One of the main reasons has to do with the Fox engine and what all the new technology associated with it allow. Through the use of facial and motion capture, Snake can now express his thoughts and emotions without the use of words. If Snake is hot, he no longer has to say, "I'm hot." This can now be shown through Snake's facial expression, posture, subtle actions, and the sweat from his body. Emotions like hate and motivations like revenge, which are huge themes in the game, can also be expressed in a similar fashion. Furthermore, it's important to keep in mind that Snake undergoes through some changes in the Phantom Pain, leading him to walk a darker path and become a darker individual. During the Phantom Pain, Snake will not be in a physical or mental condition to be his usual talkative self. The less talkative Snake also has to do with the game's new open world structure. According to Jordan, since the game is open world, the game designers no longer have the option to restrict players to certain choices. Players will be given more liberties than past games. For the designers, it's not just important that players make a decision, but it's also important to them that the players feel as though Snake made that decision with them. If Snake talks too much, then it could lead into a situation in which players were thinking X while Snake was thinking Y, creating a sort of rift between player and character. One key goal for this new Metal Gear Solid game is to make it easier for players to feel what it's like to be Snake, and according to Jordan, a less talkative Snake will help with that. On the flip side, the hosts noted that it has been brought to their attention through audience feedback that Kaz Miller talked way too much in Ground Zeroes. More specifically, people were annoyed by how Kaz would relay the same information over and over again, even after players had played through a mission once. As an example, Kaz gives players the same tutorial every time players start the Ground Zeroes mission, no matter how many times they beat it, and it's something that can't be turned off. Fortunately, the feedback was read loud and clear by the designers, and they are planning to address this issue for the Phantom Pain. Not a lot of details were given on how, but they did hint at giving players the option to adjust how much information is given by Miller and when. Another complaint that the hosts addressed was Snake's inability to knock on walls or surfaces to attract guards. This was actually the most common feedback that was given by Ground Zeroes players. Fortunately, the designers are working to address this issue. According to the hosts, in the Phantom Pain, players will be able to do something cool to lure guards to their position. So while wall knocking is unlikely to make a return, there will be something new and cool to take its place. If I had to guess, I would say it could be something like whispering or whistling. Or, since the hosts keep using the word cool, perhaps it has something to do with an undisclosed feature found in Snake's prosthetic arm. Your guess is as good as mine. Another common complaint was the exclusion of the iconic cardboard box. Well, good news folks, The host took the time to announce that the cardboard box will make a return in the Phantom Pain. It's hard to say if the item will work similarly as past games, however, since in a previous interview, Kojima stated that the cardboard box would return, but in a way that doesn't conflict with the tone of the game. Regardless, some form of cardboard box is better than nothing at all. One last complaint the hosts addressed was the lack of boss fights in Ground Zeroes. The hosts assured that boss fights would make a return in the Phantom Pain, and according to one of the hosts, there will be lots of them. To add to that, another one of the hosts stated that there will also be lots of variety in terms of enemies, characters, locales, and more, once again reiterating that the Phantom Pain is looking to be around 200 times larger than Ground Zeroes. And that concludes all the new information revealed through the Kojima Station webcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to let our nation know in the comments below your thoughts on their new approach to cutscenes, the less talkative Snake, and the various feedback that the game designers are going to address. And to be further updated on Metal Gear Solid 5, be sure to join the nation and subscribe to Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out!